So you're probably going to want to put the link to this video either in like your Apple Notes or just bookmark it in some way, because I think you're probably going to want to actually reference this video again in the future. Well, I'm going to be giving you a lot of information, a lot of code as well, so that you can actually start using this to make your own strategies. You can backtest your strategies. There's a lot of information. So let's waste no time and we're just getting straight into it here. So this is a TradingView chart. I'm sure you're all aware with that. What we want to do is we want to make our own strategy so that we can actually trade using a Binance bot and actually make trades automated. So first thing that we need to do is make a strategy so that we can create some sort of signals. So if you go down there to that, you can just basically load a strategy. Go here to the Pine editor, and what you want to do is just open a brand new strategy, and that gives you some code. And we're also going to be using ChatGPT to do a lot of the code. So what we want first then really is just going to be some sort of indicator. Let's just start off here with something really basic. So I normally like to use this one, something I've used a lot. This is called an envelope. Okay? And with this envelope then, all we got to do is come up here and you can click on this here, the source code for the envelope. That's going to open up and it's going to ask you if you want to edit this code. You can basically create a working copy just like this. And now let the games begin. First of all, what you want to do is actually have a look at the chart and start to think where you could actually buy and sell this. Now what I can see is coming out the envelope here, and it doesn't seem to be quite good enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change here. You can see the percent input, so I'm going to bring that down to maybe 8%, and then I'm just going to add this to the chart. So what we'll do is we'll take this one off, and now I'm going to add on our new sort of custom envelope script here. Add that into the chart, and now we can see that we're popping out the top and popping out the bottom. But what if you don't know how to actually add in buy and sell signals to that? So what we're going to do is just basically copy all of this, and then we're going to head on over to ChatGPT and say convert this indicator into a line script strategy and buy when the close, so that's the close of the candle, is below the, I'm going to put this in quotation marks so it knows what I'm talking about, and sell when the close is above the upper. It is doing it right now. So it's basically taking the script that we had over here, which was an indicator, but we don't want an indicator. We need a strategy for this. And ChatGPT is now turning that into a strategy. So this is a envelope breakout strategy, it's named it. And it's putting in the sell conditions, the buy conditions. So if the close is lower than the lower, or the close is upper, that's when we sell. And so once it's done it, yeah, it's pretty much done it. All you need to do is just copy the code there, head back on over here, and just copy and paste all of that and put in the new code. Just paste it in. I'm not sure what's going on here. Looks like we've got an error. What I'm going to do, this is version 4 code. We're currently on version 5, so I'm going to change that to version 4 because ChatGPT wasn't actually about when version 5 has come out, and that's a big problem with ChatGPT, is it only knows stuff up to like August, summertime 2021, something like that. So anything recent, it's not going to have a clue what it's doing. So once that's on there, we're in version 4. Let's just click update on chart, and now we should see hopefully some buying and selling going on, but we don't. We've got a error. So what we're going to do here is we just copy and paste that, and we go back to ChatGPT and say we have an error. There we go, just paste in the error, and what it's going to do is it'll have a think about it, see what's gone wrong, and there we go. I think that should have fixed that now. So copy what should be the error-free code, paste that in there, again push update on chart, and it seems we've got another error. So ChatGPT, it's not an expert coding bot. It's not an expert strategist that's going to make you tons of money. You might have watched lots of videos kind of like this that say that it's going to make you loads of money, that it's super intelligent. It really isn't. Basically, what this says is could not find function or function reference TAEMA. So if you look for TAEMA, EMA. Basically the TA part, this bit here, this is version 5 code. So all we want to do is just take away that TA. It seems now we've got some other error. So again, all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to copy this and hand it over to ChatGPT. See what it makes of that one. It doesn't know about the earlier change that we made to the code. So again, I'm just going to remove the TA dot and then press update code, and seems we still have an error again. However, this particular error isn't really an error for the strategy, so just some sort of coding problem which ChatGPT doesn't seem to be able to solve. And in that case, what you can actually do is if you come over here, now this is just command and /, and it just puts these two little /s there, which basically comments out something that isn't working. So we just comment that out. Also with these alerts as well, I'm just going to comment those out because we don't really need that. This is what we do need, which is the strategy entry and strategy close. Up here we've got what we're doing. So we're buying whenever the close is underneath the lower line, and we're selling whenever the candle closes above the top line there. And if we update on the chart, this should now work. Okay, so it's definitely a problem with the code. Ah, right, so I see what the problem is. So what ChatGPT has done here, as I say, it will help you out, but sometimes it does stuff a little bit wrong. This here is buy, which is kind of like the marker for what it is that you're buying. And if we want to sell it, then this should also really be exactly the same, because this is what are you closing? What position are you closing? Well, you're closing the buy position, so that should also be buy. So let's update that on the chart and see what we get. Ah, there we go. Now we've actually got some buying and some selling. And this particular strategy, very, very simple envelope strategy, is 70% profitable. Got profit factor here of 1.468 and also a net profit of 2,500. No, sorry, 250% profit. Next comes the really fun part for me. I really like this. This is the back testing. Now, if you come over to our Discord group, there's a link for that down below in the description of this video. Instead of just going to the main chat or the Masters Lounge, if you head on over to the bot creation part, you can then copy this sort of template script that we've got here. So this part here is going to set the year, month and day so that every single coin that we test, it's going to be starting in exactly the same place, which is going to allow you to actually compare results. If you don't have this, it's just going to be starting at all different kinds of dates, depending on if you're on an hourly or a daily. As we're doing the back testing, the results will be all over the place, and you're not going to know which is better. Is it better for use an hour or a 4-hourly or a 15-minute? You're not going to have a clue unless you set this. So this is very, very important code. We'll stick it just underneath the strategy there. And what this basically does, as I say, is it's just going to add in something to let us know the date and time. But what we need to do now is add some more code to actually stop it buying unless it's after this date. So if you go back to the Discord group, we should find it here somewhere. So this is it. So if bar state is confirmed and the trade date is allowed, that is this function right here, trade date is allowed, then we're going to buy. Okay, so we'll just copy that there and bring that down here just before the buy and the sell statements. What you need to do is just move these along one tab, just like that. Okay, so now these, which are along one tab, are basically inside this if statement, and whatever's under here is not. But it probably should be. What have we got here? Another buy. That's it. These are the actual buys. So let's just move those along as well. There we go. That looks a bit better. So if we update this on the chart now, it shouldn't have changed too much. Ah, yes, it has. So we've got the input int problem again. So if you do have that input int problem, you could ask ChatGPT. I'm not sure how much help it will be. Basically, just take away the .int. Again, the .int, that is from version 5 of PineScript. And as I said earlier, ChatGPT doesn't know what that is. There we go. And we can go back to our strategy, and now basically everything on here should only be after the date that we have set here on the input. So this is the 1st of the 1st, 2020. So now that we've got that code in place, what you can do is you can come up here, and if you have a list of different currencies in a watch list, you can just go down there, and what you want to do is just go down there and mark out all of the profits that you've got, the net profits and the percent profitability for each one, maybe the profit factor as well. You really want at least 1.5 on the majority of the coins. So once you've got some sort of idea there, anyway, we'll just head back up to Bitcoin. We know this is 70%. We're currently on a 4-hour chart. So what happens then if we move down to an hour chart? Well, that goes down quite a lot, and some others you can see they're not looking much better either. So 1 hour is probably not what we want, so then you can try 2 hours. Here our net profit is 1.5. If we go to 3 hours, it's gone down a little bit, so we're not making quite so much on that. 4 hours, that's a bit better. We're making 8.5 now on a 4-hour strategy. If we go to a daily is really not good at all, and obviously weekly even worse. So the best strategy here is going to be the 4-hour time frame, and so on. And you can just check all of these for all of your coins. Maybe make yourself a nice little Excel spreadsheet. And just before we go into something a little bit more technical, do not forget that you can also test out these ones here. So again, change these parameters in here. So we're starting with $1,000, and you might want to change equity. Here the order size could be 100%, which would just be one order going in at 100%. Or you might want to change maybe to say pyramiding in with 2 orders using 50% of your equity instead, just to see if that may yield better results. So again, if we go up here to Bitcoin on the daily, we're minus 29, changing back down to the 4-hourly, which was better. Now we're up 300%. Other things you can change here on the inputs, stuff that you may want to test, is going to be the percent. So obviously earlier on, we moved it up to 8%. Well, I wonder what happens if we go to 10%. 10% probably a bit too much. 13%, 15%. Okay, and you can just mess around with these as much as you want. Enough said. You get it, right? So what do we do now? We've made a strategy. How do we actually get that sent over through to Binance so we can actually automate our strategy, if in fact this was an awesome strategy? Well, what you can do is you can come over here onto our envelope breakout strategy, and you can click the end button here for more. You click that and it'll say add alert. And what you can do then is basically send yourself what are called webhook alerts. So here you can see webhook URL, and that's where you would put in the URL that you want to send out your signal to. And you're also going to be adding in some settings here saying how much to buy or how much to sell. And this can be as easy as copy and paste. So if you go over to your account on Mutual Ninja and you just click on to your account page, you can scroll down here and you come to bot strategies. And let's just say you want to create a strategy, just stick in a name there. And I'm going to call this the Benvelope. Okay, the Benvelope strategy currency. We're going to go with USDT, that's Tether. Submit that, and here we go. So this is the Benvelope strategy. I think we was on a 4-hour. This is our webhook link, and this is that data that you need to put into the webhook as well. But it's not all correct just yet. What we need to do, here you can write in the strategy. Here you can put how much you want to put in. Is it 50%? Are you going all in, all out at 100%? I think our strategy was made for 100% from what I can remember. What type of strategy is it? I think this one you'd call a swing strategy. If you're not sure, you can click on that, and that's going to take you over to a page where it's going to explain all about the different types of strategies so you can pick the correct one. And then at the bottom here, we've got the restrictions. So you can put if you want Mutt Club only, so you only want the top guys in the group to know, or you can just put all ninjas, and public or private. Submit the changes, and now you can get this code here and get ready to paste it in. So basically you want to copy this one first. So yep, copied that. Head back on over here to where your notification is and paste in your webhook URL. Now there's also things here to send you an email every single time a signal goes off, or pop-ups and apps, etc. Playing a sound. I would suggest, if this is going to be running 24/7, you probably don't want those on, because they're going to drive you absolutely nuts. So this is also an open-ended alert. Okay, so you've got open-ended because you don't want it just to run once and then stop working. So make sure it's an open-ended alert. And what we want to do now is we want to paste in that code from here. So we can just come up here, copy that, paste it in there, and that is good to go. You can just create that, and anytime you want to change it, it'll just be over here in the side, and you can just come up, edit it, and make any changes that you need to. Now this should be green, as you can see on the outline there. If it is amber or orange, you may have not copied and pasted it correctly, so do make sure that that's correct. Now, just to give you a little bit more information on this so that you understand more about what you're copying and pasting, let's share a little more with you here, shall we? So what we've got here, basically, the top one is the action. So this is the strategy order action. So what's actually going to come through, what this variable is it's either going to be buy or sell. So if you're doing something which isn't a strategy, if you're just trying to do this purely from an indicator, what you'll need to do is set up two separate alerts. Okay, you need to set up one for buy and one for sell. The other thing, if you're doing this with an indicator, is this strategy order price is also not going to work. Okay, so what you're going to need to do there is actually remove that. Oh, sorry, just remove the writing inside the brackets. You're going to need the brackets for this, and you just write in close, and then that'll put in the price of the close. Underneath that, you've got the buy lots. So basically how much you're going to be buying, and this is worked out. So 20 is basically all in, that's 100%. 10 would just be 50%. So this is the buying lots, this is the selling lots. The signal is basically just an identifier for our system to know exactly which strategy that it's for. And that's it, there you have it. You have your very first completely automated system. So right now, if you go over to the signals tracker, you now should have somewhere on here your strategy. And here it is, Benvelope, there it is. We don't have any coins on here at all. So what you need to do is you need to go back over to your edit page, scroll down to the bottom, and actually start adding in some coins. So there you go, we could have ADA, and we could have, let's say, BNB, and of course we're going to have Bitcoin, and maybe Dogecoin as well. And while we're there, why not a bit of Pepe? I do like a bit of Pepe recently. There you go. So now we've got 5 different coins. Back here on the Benvelope strategy, now we can see assets tracked 5, and that'll just now start taking in signals, which is fantastic. But how do you actually get those signals over to Binance? Just come on up here to the bot shop, and this is where you can actually control your bot. Scrolling down, this is where you can change whatever strategy it is that you want, and you can change the mode as well. So basically bull means that you're accepting both buy orders and sell orders. If you're on bear mode, you're only taking the sell orders because you're looking to get out and sell off. If you're looking for protect, that just means you want to sell everything that you've got and get out as soon as you can. So this is a really good way to sort of manually keep a track of your bot and make sure that if the market is doing anything crazy, you just want to stop your strategy, get out, or just only accept the sell orders. At the end of the day, mechanical strategies are good, but even the big banks and stuff, when it comes up to big elections and big events, maybe stuff with the, you know, the FCA or the Federal Reserve in America with interest rates, that type of stuff, when these sort of things come out, the markets can go crazy, and you may want to do what the big banks do, which is turn off your bots and just wait it out, wait for the dust to settle before you start trading again. Now do make sure that when you do change this strategy, you come here to the settings, scroll down to the bottom, and actually add all of the coins down here. All you got to do is just heart it to add the ones that you want. Otherwise, you're not going to do anything at all. Now, if you do actually want to set up one of the decentralized Binance trading bots that we have, so that we don't have your keys, okay? We don't want to handle your Binance security keys or anything like that. but you can set it up yourself on your own server. We've got a video to actually show you how to do that. I'll just leave a link for that up there if you haven't done that already. And now let's just get into something a little bit more sexy, a bit of a better strategy. So coming back over here, I'm just going to share with you one I was looking at myself. So I came across an indicator recently. It was called the Whole Suite, this one right here. And you can see here we've got this very nice swing trade in type strategy opening up here. So like you could buy here as it turns into green, sell off there as it goes into red, and so it goes. Look, at the moment right now, this one here looks like it's just turning upwards, like we're about to go up. All you need to do is just come up here to the code part. Okay, yeah, we don't want to save any of that, and what you can do is just hit the create your own working copy, and then you can take all of this script and then ask ChatGPT to make it your own. Well, that was a strategy that I was playing around with earlier today, so I called it the Steel Dragon 2000 after a Japanese roller coaster. And if I turn off the whole suite there, because I have changed some of the settings on it, you can see it's much more, you can see the big long greens, then we got a red sell-off, big long greens again, and I have, just as I was just mentioning, an envelope put in there in the same strategy. So this strategy code looks just like this. What you can see here is I've used exactly the same from year stuff that I was sharing with you earlier that you can get over here in the Discord group under bot creation. And I basically hacked together the whole suite one with some code right here that I got from the envelope. So I took the envelope idea and I just basically wrapped that envelope around the whole moving average. So you can see here it's upper M hole and lower M hole, rather than this being the close or the moving average, I think it was, which would have been there before. The results are pretty good. So if we just come up here to the strategy tester, you can see down here is the blue line is the buy and hold equity. So we are doing pretty well on this one. What's this one? Stacks. So we're up 1,300% on stacks. Only says 57% profitable. Now, if we have a look at other coins as well, something like Bitcoin, then we can say Bitcoin, it says only 36% profitable, but we're up 578%. And let's just check Ethereum as well. So Ethereum here on the 4 hour, we're up 43%, but the net profit is 9.87. Now, if we go over to the daily, you can see that apparently the profitability is higher. However, the net profit is lower. So for me, myself, I'd rather have a higher net profit than the amount of actual profitable trades. So I think that Steel Dragon one is probably good enough. I'll stick that up on the website, and I may actually use that myself sometime just to try it out, see what it's like in a real live environment. I really do hope that this video has now given you a little bit more of an idea about how to create your own strategies. If you do have any questions, either ask down below or just join our Discord group and ask me there, and we'll try and help you out and get you up and running, setting up your own strategy, automating your strategy so you can actually make some real gains trading crypto for once. That's it from me for this video. I'll see you again soon.